All right, we are about to begin. I will be timing the session at 20 minutes. Brownie points to anybody that uses anything from Star Wars, so I appreciate the picture of R2-D2. We are being recorded, and it looks like we have everyone in the room, so we will begin. My name is Linda Stewart. I am the moderator for the morning sessions. We will begin session 1 with the Tap Art Institute. The team is Nivedita, Harismar, Arushi, and Sadiq. If you are ready, please begin.
So, good morning, everyone. This is Siddhak Singh. I will be presenting for LM Thapar School of Management, Team 2. Hear me? Yes. Okay. So, as we all know, Build with Robots is the company which is, as we just saw the amazing video, we're already aware that Build with Robots wants to build worker-integrated robotics and automation. And their current product is one, which is a disinfecting fogging robot, and they plan to sell about 1 million robots by 2023, which we believe is an amazing idea. And the idea itself of building robots, which is working integrated, is really well made. But we have a huge market potential we think Build with Robots can target. So in the essence of building robots, we also would like to suggest that they can train to build robots for learning and fun. And why do we think so? Because there's a huge market for learning robotics. There's an absence of wholesome platform for learning robotics. And as we've seen the amount of expertise they've gained and used to build this amazing robot, we would like them to use this for something more scalable and valuable. And finally, as also mentioned in the pitch of Build with Robots, we think bridging skills gap to increase employability and living standards in emerging markets would be the way to go. And what do you think? How do we propose to do it? Is we would want Build with Robots to build any platform to learn design, which is called Learn to Build Robots, as the name suggests. So it will have these amazing features, which would be robot designing programs, virtual robotic labs from distinguished universities, technical advice from experts. It will be a community of learners and practitioners. And most of all, the best thing about building robots is that everybody would need product components to build these robots. So through this platform, we will also be selling these components or through click-throughs. And we would like to highlight the huge market that exists. We would like to call them amateur enthusiasts, university vocational students, and skill builders. And there's immense opportunity for partnerships with universities and learning platforms. And I would like to highlight what this huge market for a learning and doing platform means. The amateur enthusiasts would be people like interested in robotics but have no clue, and they would like some drag and drop kind of robot kits. Then we have skill builders, people who have reached their 30s, 40s, and they don't have the skill set which would be required in the next decade. So we would be providing skill development programs for them. And finally, our biggest market would be university and vocational. Of computer engineering, we can think of mechatronics, we can think of electronics. All engineering students would be willing to learn robotics, considering the amount of skill set they would need in the future. So how do we propose? So we would like to talk about the revenue streams. So we propose 3 ways. They're not definitely exhaustive. First of one is the individual subscription fee. So there will be a fee to access this e-learning platform, which every individual can pay. Then we're also thinking about getting universities to sell educational packages. And thirdly, as we mentioned before, selling robot components and click-throughs. This can be a large revenue source. Just to try to expand the huge potential this platform will have, we've just thought of exploring one revenue source. We've considered the amount of students in US, China, and India. So these numbers from different years because that's what we could find on the internet. There are the science and engineering graduates graduating. So there's about 768,000, about 1.7 million and 1.5 million in India. And we just considered only 20% of these students are from science and engineering. In India, we just considered computer science and electronics. And we have a rough estimate of about $40 million per year revenue, considering just $50 fee from every student. And as you can see, that's a huge market. Now, coming to how we want you to develop the strategy of implementing this platform. So we believe in three things: developing, marketing, and obviously we would need to develop the online platform. For people for designing robotic programs and also taking the expertise that already exists within the company. Also, we'll be partnering with universities and companies like Coursera and edX to deliver better programs. Then, second option, obviously, we need to build a user base. So we need to do marketing. We need to increase social media presence. We will think about trial offers to universities and educational institutions, and also endorsements by influencers as millennial generation works through this lot. Then, the final part will be the collaborative aspect. So basically developing virtual robotic labs with distinguished universities, and also a lot of governments in the emerging markets are working with skill development programs. So they have so many funds to invest into companies who are making people future ready. So this will be our larger long-term strategy. So partnerships with major universities in emerging markets. Then we move on to the kind of funding we would need to implement this program. So we would like to... Revenues are very conservative, I have to mention that there's about 10% of US market in the first year, 20% of the US market, and 5% of Indian market in the second year. And by the third year, it's about 20% of US market and 20% of Indian market. And we're looking at a platform development costs of about $1 million every year, and it will reduce to 0.5 by the end of 2024. And employee costs of $1 million each every year, and it'll obviously increase once we have a larger target market. So we're looking for funding of $8 million to implement this program for 4 years. So we propose what already Build with Robots does is build amazing robots. We propose this another platform which would be Learn to Build with Robots. And what will it bring to the amazing organization is an increase of Build with Robots existing products. Then facilitating development of future robotic professionals. Because if we invest in today, tomorrow we'll have professionals increasing the robotics industry. Then it'll also increase the robotics upskilling in emerging markets. And most of all, it'll let BWR penetrate into emerging markets more efficiently. So we have this final proposition where we believe that Build with Robots would be aiding to develop robotics professionals for creating positive social impact in a changing world by providing ability to a global robotics e-platform. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Are you complete?
Yes, we're complete.
Okay. If the judges have questions, please type them in the Q&A, and I will pass that on to the students. First question from you are proposing a widely different range of abilities and segments, and each of these require a different marketing strategy. Which do you propose to pursue first, second, and third?
Repeat.
You are proposing a widely different range of abilities and segments, and each of these require a different marketing strategy. Which do you propose to pursue first, second, and third?
Second, there is a
And that question is open to anyone on the team that would like to answer.
So regarding the yeah,
Go
can
ahead.
you hear me?
Yes.
yes.
So regarding the customer segments, we have students that we want, and partner universities, we will target them. And finally, when we are going to approach the platforms like we mentioned edX and finally when we have a presence built, then we go to them.
How did you determine that 20% of students will buy into this concept?
So question was just a rough estimate. We feel that even if we try to start with the minimum, we just thought that even if 20% people out of the whole market, the big, and this is only for 3 countries. Like we can scale up in any country we like, but to begin with and to make some rough estimate, decided upon 20.
Does the team have a platform developed already? If so, what TRL are you at?
No, we don't platform ready. This is a suggestion strategy for building robots to build one.
In the Breezy One video, they mentioned they are having difficulty getting to the decision makers. How do you propose they overcome this challenge with your concept?
This is actually a very good platform to propose because this will also, in addition to selling the robots, they can sell the skill building programs. And this will enable them like a 5-year or 10-year head start, which they can tell the decision makers that we're also skill building along with selling the robots. So I believe this would actually be more beneficial to get to sell the robots.
Okay. Can the team explain a possible break-even point of subscriptions and revenue?
So based on the current projections, because yeah, because all the estimates we have made, rough estimates, yeah.
Go ahead, Arsamar.
So we are so currently that okay 20% of the so first we are targeting the US market that in the initial year when if 20 US under and amateurs they come to our platform then I think based on our going to reach given point in next 1.5 years based on so it depends. So right now we are estimating 20% in just one market where the company is currently operating.
Thank you. A number of currently available robotic kits, apps, and e-platforms use a one-time purchase instead of a subscription. What will Learn with Robots do to make the subscription worth it?
In order to make the subscriptions worth it, we are not only providing, we are also developing, we also thought of in this e-platform, there'll be virtual labs, wherein universities like MIT in the US, the top-notch technical universities can have their virtual labs. And this platform serves as a medium to bridge the gap between these top-notch technical universities like MIT and the students who want to, the students maybe in the emerging markets who want to learn it. So with the subscription, they are not only getting to learn the courses that are provided by the company, but also virtual labs that are set up by the universities that the company will tie up with. That will make the subscription worth it. And it will also be a platform where even if maybe they do not want to go through the whole course, they want to just go through some doubts, technical expertise on one or two things, they can also clear that on this platform. So the company can also provide a little bit of that advisory role.
Thank you. How much content would the company need to generate to maintain a subscription model?
Yeah, so the content would be based on their experience of building robots, their expertise gained over the years, and it depends how many students subscribe, and also then they'll build the team, they'll expand their team, so it'll go up. It'll continuously improve.
Thank you. Have you identified competitors to your robot concept?
So currently, we could not find any company, to the best of our knowledge, which is doing both robots as well as providing a platform for people to learn. So I think this provides the first advantage to this company. So
Thank you. Will the advancement of machine learning affect your business model, make it easier or more difficult? I'll repeat the question.
I think,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I think it'll make the business easier because it'll be complementary. It'll aid the business. The more people know about machine learning, the about robots. So I think it will aid us.
Okay, we have 2 minutes remaining in the session. This proposal requires a different set of technical skills, training platform, digital production, filming and editing, trainers, etc. How do you propose the company execute on this idea?
They have the knowledge of building robots. They just need to hire trainers, as suggested in the question itself. And
We're having difficulty understanding you. We're having breakup in your audio.
Okay. So maybe I'm still in.
So we are planning to hire more people. Mentioned in our slides that we are who are experts, IT experts, and marketing experts. So yes, we know when we want to expand into a new stream, we need to upgrade that.
Thank
So
you.
we'll be hiring talent. Thank you.
Okay, 1 minute remaining. How would you handle staffing in the next few years to meet the challenges mentioned in the video?
So, like in the slides, we mentioned that first of all, we will hire robot engineers because we want the students to learn from the technical experts themselves instead of just providing the theoretical knowledge. We want the students to learn from the technical experts. And regarding the staffing, we also mentioned that there will be a marketing team with 3 personnel initially that will handle the digital marketing, the social media presence, and other aspects of marketing. So there will be marketing personnel, trainers in terms of the robot engineers, because we want technical expertise. So we mentioned some of the staffing aspects in the slides.
Okay, I would like to thank you, all 4 of you, for joining us here today. This session is over. You will need to check out now. I ask the judges to please remain on the presentation room platform. Thank you all again for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, judges, I would like to thank you for submitting your scores. We are now going to begin the second session. We are going to the second team. This is from the Foundation for Organization for Research and Education from India. We have 2 members of the team here, Akshita and Prakshit. Welcome.
Thank you.
And please
Can we
begin.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, can I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you. Very warm greetings to all the judges and all the viewers that are watching us. So our team, 4-1 from 4 School of Management, is going to be talking about how are we going to scale the company Build with Robots. Next slide, please. To give you a very brief introduction about what Build with Robots is, it is a technology startup which is leveraging the latest in robotics industry and is working on a product called Breezy One, which is a disinfecting robot, which is extremely useful given the pandemic of that is going on in the country and across the world. It is extremely powerful against those, and it is safe and it is fast. So that is what we're trying. The company is producing, and that is why we're wanting to scale up a company like Build with Robots. Next picture. So we came up with 3 major challenges. That were, one was that was given out to us in the form of the video, and 2 are the challenges that we identified during our research. The basic challenge that the company is facing, that is that it does not have access to the right decision makers and stakeholders in schools. And its main target audience is that it wants to make a change in the United States. So that is the first challenge. The second challenge that we feel is that the operation needs to be expanded, and we need to find the right target audience, and we need to expand our growth and move away just from schools and also grow in the global business. The third is that needs to be a lot of awareness about the product and what the goals of the company are and how we're going to market that, so that people are interested in it, the firms are interested in it, and other target audiences are also interested in it. Next. So moving right into the scale-up process, Prakshit will continue with our research.
Yeah, thanks, Akshita. Now I will explain the primary research that we have done for this survey to understand the perceptions of the various stakeholders that are involved in this venture. We have done a survey. In the survey, 67 respondents have participated, including students, parents, employees working in the corporates, and the managers itself. So we got the insights after doing the survey. We got the insight that 70% of the parents, will be more likely to feel safe and ready to send their children in schools if schools do implement Breezy One and other safety parameters like sanitization, social distancing itself. So, second insight we do get this from this is key motivation from employees to work in the offices is that premises should get sanitized, disinfected regularly, at least 2 times a day. 45% corporates are willing to spend, on technology to ensure employee safety at the offices. One more interesting insight we got to know after doing this survey that parents, employees, and managers are skeptical about the Breezy One because they are skeptical about the inhalation hazard that Breezy One is mentioning in their product, that it will be causing an inhalation hazard, and the time period after, for example, if one is going to work, it should take at least 30 minutes to 1 hour, not 2 hours to safe to work there. Moving on to next slide, but we get to the results to expand the scale operations of the build with robots. We can do the promotions by key opinion leaders that are Corridor Digital, Tech Rex, and Tech Rocoms. These are well established key opinion leaders in the various social media platforms. And why we selected the key opinion leaders? According to McKinsey report, 92% of the consumers say that they are more likely to trust personal recommendation over ads. And 74% of consumers identify word of mouth as a key influencer in their purchasing decision. Millennials also believe that 115 millennials are 115 percent more influenced by word of mouth than traditional advertising. So ultimately, what these are benefiting the firm from, what benefits this key opinion leader will drive to the firm is they will help in create awareness, buzz about the product among the niche target audience. Rather than when we are doing the marketing with influencers, they will target anyone, not just the niche target audience. So we will get a niche target audience which actually have a need of this product, and can attract potential investors, partners from all around the world. Moving on to the next slide, customer development is an important phase. Rather than targeting schools only, the Breezy build with robots should move on to the corporate offices, hospitals, airports, and many other public institutions, and tie up with the state governments. So actually, doing the survey, we got to know the needs of the customers, that are protection from the coronavirus. Health and wellness are the key for them while they are working, or they are going to the, if students are going to the school, parents are most concerned about their wellness and health also. So yeah, and sterilized environment, they are also concerned about this. So what channels can be used to reach them? We can definitely do the digital promotion. We can definitely reach out to the key opinion leaders. We can tie up with the state governments and local governments bodies there, and we can do the affiliate marketing rather than doing the traditional marketing, which will cost a in a whole different level. We can do these. What methods can we use to maintain customer growth? Focus on positioning rather than only selling the product. We should sell the benefits of the product, that what actually they are going to get from this. But we should tell them importance of this product rather than only focusing on this product. Also, we should do add-on with this product. We should give them provide them with the vending machines that help in automatic sanitization, that provides automatic sanitization, and constantly innovate the product. Moving on, Akshita will explain networking and partners.
Okay, so we for the scale up process, we feel networking is very important to grow the firm globally. And the world of business is obviously undergoing a shift right now at the moment. And as the technology landscape gets more and more complex, many companies seem to be moving away from the old approach of seeing other businesses in the market as competitors, and they're wanting to find new ways of partnering with each other. So we feel that partnership is equal to the business growth here. And we did a survey, we read a survey from the Deloitte 2020 Technology Industry Outlook, which clearly stated that partnership is a top strategy that can be used for technology firms these days. And why should a robotics, if you can ask, why should a robotics company focus on something like partnership? And the reason is that they have a lot of things to focus on, and they should stick to the core competencies and let others, marketing channels and different other sectors could be handled by other partnership firms. So that is what we are wanting to do. We feel that the team can have can attend conferences, become part of teams, understand new ideas, and understand what they can incorporate. And that's how the global growth will be there. They can partner with companies who are wanting to work in this pandemic, and with state governments who are wanting to affiliate to the product. And that's how the awareness about this product can be reached. Next slide, picture. We feel digital marketing will play an extremely important role. We were looking up for Build with Robots, and we came across that when you're searching it on Google, there's not search engine optimization. People are not aware about it. There should be search engine optimization, as in it is very down below on the Google search. So that is why we feel that there should be search engine optimization. If you want it to be present among the millennials and among the Gen Z, so that they understand what this is and they promote it in their schools. Obviously, word of mouth plays a very important role in private schools, corporate sectors. So that is why we feel there should be an Instagram presence, there should be a Twitter presence to let people know what it is, and so that people can have a understanding of how to reach out. LinkedIn, there is a LinkedIn presence, but it is not that effective. So that this can be done in the form of they can join conferences and all of that. We feel content, speaking, networking, engagements would help in this strategy, and that is how we'll move forward. Next. We wanting the next is sustainable development. The basic strategy that we have for the company to follow sustainable development goals, which are aligning with the 17 goals of sustainable development by the United States. Sustainable development goals are becoming increasingly important for investors that will help us in funding. And we need to 5 mega trends that should be focused on with the company like Build with Robots is climate, circular economy, ethics, health and equity, and development. Next. So what are the benefits of the strategy we are proposing? Firm benefits is profitability, global growth, employment, optimizing resources, and obviously new partnerships. We learn new things, we'll have a profit, we'll have a reach in the market. And global growth, what people will understand from it, I think it will help, first of all, people fight against this pandemic because number of cases are increasing every day, and then this would obviously help in the sanitization process. Secondly, it would create... Okay. So we're just finishing up.
Yes,
it would create a source of employment and would also create a sense of awareness and social responsibility. That's it from our side. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. If the judges would please ask their questions in the Q&A tab, please. Are there any questions from the judges, please? Here we go. Here is our first question. You propose a wide range of customer segments. Where did it go? Where do you see the most opportunity?
Thank you for the question. We feel that firstly, we should focus on what the company wants. The first audience that the company is focusing on is schools, private schools, and that's our target audience. But we feel to make a global presence, it has to widen its horizons, and that's why we're wanting to expand to airports, corporate offices, and other public places where this can be used for disinfection.
Just adding on to what Akshita said, I want to say if we go to the B2C customer segment, it will cost you a huge revenue to the company at the starting. It will not give the profits. It will cost huge amount of financials to the company, and it will not give the huge amount of revenue. If we take the example of B2C marketing, it only cuts down the revenue of the company. So we are targeting B2B marketing, and we are targeting only not individuals. We are targeting corporate offices, airports, that hospitals, healthcare institution, and public institutions.
Thank you. Is there information how sanitizing workplaces will reduce the amount of sick leave from employees?
There is no connection. I mean, there is no hypothesis that could state that. This is basically a disinfection process, and this will not obviously help in sick leaves. Other processes
As
or
I
other.
I
Yeah.
want to add something, Akshita. Sorry to interrupt you. I have read about a report of the McKinsey that has stated that and I have read about the material that Build with Robots had shared with us on the website itself. It is saying that sick leaves have if we are going to incorporating the health hazards and not doing the sanitization properly, sick leaves are increasing day by day, and it's amount to the huge revenue loss of the company itself, be it corporate, be it school. So it directly affects the sick leaves. I just want to say that.
Thank you. What challenges do you think this company would face with a partnering strategy?
Just want to add that it may face the challenge that it has not, don't have any social media presence, or don't have any, awareness in the market itself. It is long way to go for the company to create a brand awareness, to, to show that what it actually is doing for the community, or what actually it is presenting as a solution for the betterment of the enrichment. So large partner, if you company want to partner with the large brands, it will be a difficult process for the company to get attention of the large brands and to partner with them, because they will be needing the benefit from the company itself. Affiliate marketing needs benefit from the other company. So we think that this will be the main challenge while partnering up with the other brands.
I am a little confused about revenue stream.
Akshita, you want to take this question?
Yeah. So if you're talking about the revenue stream, I think the company's goal is to reach an audience of 50, have a revenue of 50 millions by the first quarter of 2022. And that is basically, yeah. So that is basically what we're trying to do. This partnerships what won't affect the business growth that is already there. It would obviously profit more in that sense. So we feel that this revenue would eventually be done earlier if the company uses the form of strategy and the form of ways you're presenting.
Just want to add on what Akshita said. Akshita said that while we have to optimize our resources. By allocating less resources, we have to maximize our revenue. By doing this, first we have we have cut down to B2C strategy. We are not doing that strategy. We are focusing only B2B customers. And while doing that, we are not, doing the traditional advertising or celebrity endorsements or anything that will cut down to our financials, that will save our financials. And we will, by investing low financial at the early stage, we will be generating whole other new revenue stream by, targeting schools. We will tie up with the state government, provide them that what we are providing them. We will give about incentives we are providing them, and they will promoting our product in the school itself. Because in the survey or in the on the Wikipedia site, I have got to know that 87% of the schools in the US itself are run by the state or government itself. There are only 13% private schools, and so going on with this, we'll be targeting and also we'll be doing constant innovations. For example, to give the incentives to the customers, we will providing them constant innovations, and vending machines to sanitize additionally.
Thank
Hope
you.
this answers my question. Yeah.
What strategies would you recommend the company use to develop partnerships with local and state governments?
So just to partner, we were having the strategy that we will go, and we read about a lot of robotics conferences and committees that are there all around the United States. So if we want to work in that segment, we need to know people in that segment. And this is a company based in New Mexico, and we need to find people there. So that is our basic strategy, that we go, we attend conferences, we win competitions, we understand what is going on in there. Process, and we understand how it works, and that's how we will understand and move forward with the United Nations.
Yeah.
United States.
Adding on to what Akshita said, while partnering up with the state governments, what we will do, we will, obviously, state governments are, running many campaigns to tackle this COVID-19 situation, and they are doing their own initiatives. So just we are adding on to them. We will provide them these busy one products at a very discounted price, that it will not, cut down. It will have some, it will generate our revenue, but we will, providing them at a large scale, uh, as we are targeting the huge US market, and we want to target all the schools in the US itself. So we will, give them incentive that we will provide the government with this, and by this thing, I have read some on the McKinsey report itself, that most of the students and parents want their wards to go into the school and learn the practical learning itself. So government is also concerned about their learning. That what children is missing is the physical environment. So government is concerned. So by this thing, I guess government will listen to us and will collaborate with us, and we will do the partnership work with the government. That's all I want.
Thank you. We have about a minute and a half remaining in this session. Is there any thoughts on the investment needed for the company?
The company is doing pretty good in terms of investment. It is not manufacturing anything other than the robotics company. It is a very small team of people. So investments can be done from partnerships that we're going to do, and from funding further. Should you want to add in terms of funding?
Yes, I just want to add. I have read about the example of a similar robotic named Pearl, which, while tying up with key opinion leaders that I have stated in my presentation itself before, they said, the investors got to know about these products in the the channels itself, in the various social media platforms and the conference itself, and they want to, if they hear the investors got attracted with these products, and they think that there is a potential in the product, they themselves come to the company and want to invest in the company itself. Pearl is the best example I've gone through while researching on this thing.
Okay, time is up. I would like to thank you both for your wonderful presentation. Judges, can you please go ahead and start marking your judging sheets? I am going to drop the stream from the two students and prepare for the next group. Thank you again so much for...
Thanks a lot for having us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Very happy.
Okay, if you are ready, here we go. Please start.
Hello, everyone. Good morning to one and all present here. Here's the team of 4 Group 2 with UNM Global Scaling Challenge. Next slide. So the Breezy One autonomous mobile robot is one solution which offers you the safest sanitization, and it is specifically designed for large-scale facilities. And moreover, the benefit is that after disinfection, it can be safe for almost 2 hours with no harmful and risk, and the employees can be risk-free. Next slide. Coming on the most important process, how to scale up. first of all, you need to determine your milestones, your tasks which you need to accomplish. Then the important task of market research. You need to define or the target audience, the people, the test, the hypothesis which you will be testing. It is an integral part of scaling a process. The next comes to prepare the budget and the financials for the project. You next need to collaborate with the partners for equipment, raw materials in whichever country you are expanding up. You need to find investors for the funding, and then you need to have an extensive advertising and promotion plan for your product. You next need to acquire all the resources, may it be capital, human resources, for all carrying out all the operations of your organization. Next slide. Coming on to other steps of scaling up, you need to demonstrate the product to various clients so that it gains popularity, which is under your marketing and advertising. You need to set up production facilities in all the companies. Next, you need to be very cautious about what your consumer wants, because in this consumer-centric world, it is of prime importance. So you need to customize your model and make it user-friendly according to your target market. You need to analyze the government policies, the restrictions which go along with the project, and then you need to train and recruit employees, which is so that they can perform efficiently up to their full optimum capability. Next slide. So we have the following benefits. First of all, improved efficiency. Then we have consistency in the process, adaptability to the new technology. The world is growing in all socio-economic spheres. We are reaching heights of technologies. It is very successful in a long run. And then you can establish your place, your position in a competitive world. Next slide. Since you are the first to bring such a product in the market. Now, difficulties in scaling up. As all businesses suffer from some difficulties, here are the challenges. You can't depend solely on one product on all circumstances. Of course, it might be suitable, not suitable for all scenarios. Then, since the technology is new and hard to adapt, it is not easy. Third, setting up cost might be very high at the initial stage of inception. You have to increase the total amount of traffic in your website. Geographic flexibility is another issue, as it is not possible in every terrain and every location to set up your operations. And of course, challenging in training people in different countries, since every country has a different culture, different beliefs, and different set of traditions. Next slide. So setting up plants in every country is not possible, because import duty will be applicable which will increase the price of the product, and exchange rate will vary the profit margin. You have to suffer from another challenge of delaying the shipment of product and the deliveries. Problems in countries where the plant is to be set up. First of all, there's difficulty in acquiring resources. Every country may not have all apt resources required. Next is that there would be different cultured people of different beliefs and traditions, and you need to understand the principle of diversity and inclusion. Managing might be difficult. Third would be difficulty in collaborating with partners, since there would be different partners and everybody might have different demands, or they might not be available in some countries as well. Next slide. Now, the most important part of the presentation, the possible solutions of the difficulties of scaling up. The solutions that we propose are, first of all, making the product user-friendly. As in the consumer-centric world, if the product eco-friendly is customer-friendly, it would be easy for the customers to adopt to it. The next thing is that changing the product as per the market requirements. Changing the product as per the target market. Of course, as the target market needs and demands, we have to change the product according to that. Third thing is to make the products friendly with the customers. You can have videos and pictures explaining how to use that product in every language. Of course, all people are comfortable in their native language. So we should have their native language video in explaining how to use it. The other important thing is to promoting products in collaboration with renowned personality, as people always feel associated with personality and they try to buy that product. Other things, other solutions are hiring and training through consulting agencies to reduce time and effect. Efficient hiring you can do and training so that the staff becomes trained and efficient and the work is completed as per the scheduled plan. The efforts are also reduced. The last point which we want to propose for the solution is that we need to scale up the website to manage traffic on the website, as almost all the users are digital today. And in a digital world, to survive, you must need to make your digital presence. And then scaling up this website traffic would be increasing, and you can increase the rank of the product, and that would surely help to engage more and bring more and more customers to the business. Next slide. So this is this is all from my side, and this is all from my side. And thank you very much. It was a pleasure indeed to have a presentation here.
Thank you. Will anyone else be presenting from your team? Okay, judges, I'm going to ask you to please start asking your questions in the Q&A. Okay, nice job. You mentioned renowned personality. Any specific suggestions?
Depends upon the country in which you are expanding your business. Whichever, like in that country, that personality should be used for advertising and promotion. For USA, you can if we have Angelina Jolie, we can't have it for France and Germany as well, since other actors and actresses are popular there. So it depends upon which company we are, which place we are taking in, and the actresses or whichever personality is popular there, we should go with that personality for advertising, as people there associate with that personality. One personality I don't think would be, and if there's a renowned personality which is someone which is very famous in world, and all people are its followers, and there's some kind of leader there, we could go with that personality for sure.
Thank you. You suggest changing the product to meet a target market. In your opinion, what target markets have the most potential?
The target market could be the corporates, schools, and the offices where a large amount of people are gathering for having some work, or even in some on a regular basis. So target in our mind. We are having that target market in our mind.
Any thoughts about capital investment that is needed?
Capital investment will vary country, because we cannot set up plants in every country, production plants. If where the production plant set up, the cost will be less because no import or export is required. But where we export the product, import duty will be applicable. So product price will vary from country. So we cannot investment. It will depend. Opening a production plant, it will be higher.
Thank you. What is the goal of your scaling, and how will you know once you've reached that goal?
So while doing our market research, we will establish some countries where we want to establish our operations, and where possibly if plant is not set up, we can use the supply chain management to get the product in each and every country, So basically, with the market research, what we have done, we will the countries we listed there. If the countries are getting our product, then I think we will reach our goal of scaling.
Thank you. Are you suggesting changing the product to meet the target markets you indicated? And if so, how would you change the product?
Changing product, we mean that making it more customer friendly, that it is easy to use and understand by the customer, so that if we can see the market trends and everything, and what customers are including, like which technology they are preferring, like if this technology can be made more familiar with the customers, and the interface can be made easy, because customers might face they might feel reluctant to adapt to this technology. So for that, we have to make it more customer friendly to them. And customized is like what is it in demand, like what they like. If they might prefer graphics or video animations or free demos or something like that, we can make them so that they are more able to comprehend it better.
To add on to this point, I want to say that in US the rated supply is of 60 Hz, but in India it's 50 Hz. So we have to change a little bit in the system so that it is able to adapt to that frequency.
Thank you. Which target markets will you start with, and why?
The countries where there are many, schools and corporates established, and while we are doing our market research, we will prioritize them on the ascending order, and by that we will directly target the market of that country.
Are there any other questions from our judges? You still have 6 minutes remaining in your session. Is there anything else you would like to make a comment on? A judge's question here. Are you concerned about product scalability?
Concerned about product scalability, but first we like to expand in one country and then at a time, because investing in all countries at a single go might be very expensive at the initial stage of conception, and prove to be fertile as well if it not meets its needs for what it is made for, and it's not able to earn profits. So I think we should be expanding at one country at a time, scalability. And after that, after one country success in one country, we can expand to other, and even learn from the experience of one country, like if this step was successful, if this was not, why it was not, what factors we should consider, how can we improve it, and then we should try for other countries. Yes, we are concerned for scalability of the business, but in steps, not at a single go and everything.
The point which is the fashion scalability. So if acquire raw material, like
I'm sorry, Siddharth, your microphone is breaking up.
Can Siddharth type in chat if possible? I don't know, it might be some connection issue.
Am I audible now?
Okay, I'm going to move on to the next question. If I see a chat, I will read the answer back. In your opinion, which country and specific segment, corporations, schools, governments, should they focus on? I know you would do research, but do you have an opinion now?
We will try to focus on the continent. We want to make a hub in every continent so that we can set up a plant there, and from there we can do the distribution. So specifically, we can do tie-ups with big corporates, MNCs, who are working in a particular region. For example, in Asia, we can set up a plant anywhere, like in India or China, where there is a large demand. From there, we can export the goods exported. Thank you.
We have about 2 minutes remaining in this session. Any other questions? Any comments from the team? We'll give it about another 30 seconds. If there are no other questions, we will end the session about a minute early. Okay, that looks like that's about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for joining us. The session is now over, and congratulations to the team. Thank you for being here.